The Sanxingdui Museum is about to open. The staff are conducting a final inspection. These mysterious masks come from a lost civilization. Thanks to their discovery, the history of Chinese and even world civilization had to be rewritten. Within minutes of the Egyptian museum opening, crowds are gathering in the Tutankhamun exhibition hall. Everyone is eager to get a glimpse of a mask that is a must-see for any visitor to Egypt.
前面这就是92年西城墙我们这儿发掘的地点，这个西城墙。哎，我们现在就进城了，相当于是，进了三星堆城。你看，这个就是我们正在发掘的这个月亮湾地点。这个低洼地带，我们现在就在月亮湾城墙配套的壕沟里边在行驶。3000多年前遗址，这些人在这儿生活了1000多年，最早4500年前。一直生活到距今3000年，然后山岳遗址才废弃，沧海桑田啊，可以说是。这个是我们去年还在发掘的这个三星堆祭祀区8号坑，就是一个恒温恒湿的考古发掘场。现在都是以稳保的一个状态，然后下边都是用那个薄膜覆盖起来。比如说现在这个坑里边已经没东西了啊，但是这坑本身也是非常关键的，所以我们也是把它保留起来。这个就是我们的3号层。这一批坑里边，这面具是最早发现的一件，2021年的这个2月5日正式提取出来的。当时我亲自提取出来的，手都是颤的，我提取出来。金面具只保留了半边，就是说它有一半是残掉了，但是那个重量是280克。如果说它是一个完整状态的话，超过了500克，这么重的还是第一次，所以这也是非常重要的一件金器。
In 1986, in a small village named Sanxingdui in southwest China, 2 sacrificial pits were uncovered that were filled with treasures. Pit number 2 yielded 57 bronze human faces, 4 of them wearing gold masks. Nothing like it had ever been discovered before in China. The artifacts appeared to be from a fantasy realm, rather than the human world. For centuries, the ancient Shu civilization had existed only in legend and limited historical records. But now the veil of mystery was being drawn aside. Clearly, it had been a splendid Bronze Age civilization, with a level of development comparable to that of China's Central Plains region at the time. This is the most complete bronze human head found at Sanxingdui. Covering the rusted bronze face is a mask of pure gold, just 1/5 of a millimeter thick. The craftsmanship, even by modern standards, is highly advanced. The gilding technique was far ahead of its time, and no one knows how the ancient Shu people over 3,000 years ago could master it. Nor can anyone say what their purpose was in creating such exquisitely crafted masks.
我觉得在三星堆的话，面具的话，作为它等级或者身份的象征的这样一种状态也有。比如说，很多的人头像，有些是不戴面具的，戴面具的毕竟是少数的。像这样一种情况的话，显然给人感觉戴面具的人头像，它所代表的巫师的身份要高一些。
I've been excavating in the Valley of the Kings since 2007 until today. The golden mask, first of all, was found on the top of the face of the king, and also in the mummy, 150 objects. The golden mask is one piece, beautiful, completely of gold, like 11 kilos of gold, as if it shows you Tutankhamun came out to be alive.
In 1922, a team led by British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered the tomb of the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun.
When Howard Carter tried to take the golden mask out, he couldn't because of the resin. And the resin made the golden mask to be stuck on the mummy. He tried to take it, he couldn't. He took the mummy outside of the tomb and he lit the mummy under the sun. The mask never melted. He took the mummy to the tomb of Seti II. It was used as a store. And he brought tools. He put the tools in fire, and he took the golden mask out.
In the course of the following century, Tutankhamun's gold mask has become one of the most recognizable artifacts in the world. Wherever it's exhibited, crowds flock to see it. On Tutankhamun's mask, the forehead features a golden vulture and cobra. These represent the guardian deities of Upper and Lower Egypt, respectively. Together, they reflect Tutankhamun's absolute authority over the entirety of Egypt. The mask's most striking feature, though, is the obsidian eyes, with eyeliner depicted in lapis lazuli. The mask is also decorated with rubies and colored glass. In ancient Egyptian culture, gemstones such as lapis lazuli and rubies were associated with the concepts of divinity and the afterlife. The inscription on the gold mask's rear is taken from the Book of the Dead and can be understood as a sort of handbook for the journey to the afterlife. In ancient hieroglyphics, gold is represented as touchable sun. The ancient Egyptians believed that gold radiated a divine brilliance and could grant the deceased eternal life.
他们描述太阳神的样子是什么样的？说它有着银骨、金身和青金石的发须。他们想象里，神的皮肤就是金色的，所以这一个金子这样的一个材质，其实是他们对于一个不朽的，然后神圣的形象的一种物质的想象，而用金子的这种神圣的材料来塑造一张脸， 这张脸无论是神的脸还是人的脸，其实都是赋予了这张脸以神圣的意义。
如果说黄金面具的话，不仅仅是在东边的这个我们看到的在三星堆，西边的在埃及，其实在中间的地域有非常广阔的使用这种黄金贴面或者作为贴的这种金箔包边的，或者是包青铜像这种做法很多，包括在美索不达米亚、在伊朗、在印度都会有。它应该是人类社会进入到金属时代之后的一种这种普遍的现象。
Two masks from two ancient civilizations, both shining with a beautiful and mysterious golden light. To modern minds, there appears to be a connection. On October the 12th, 2001, to celebrate the 45th anniversary of diplomatic relations, the postal authorities of Egypt and China jointly issued a set of 2 special stamps, designed to showcase their rich histories and splendid cultures. Each stamp bore the image of a mask, one the Sanxingdui gold mask, and the other Tutankhamun's gold mask. What do these faces originating in different cultures reveal to us? Do we see their uniqueness? Or do we perceive human commonality in them? The individuals behind these masks lived beside 2 distant rivers but beneath the same sun. So who were they? How did they live? Where did they come from and where did they go? "100 kilometers northwest of Sanxingdui at the northern foot of Mount Jiuding in Maoxian County, a branch of the ancient Qiang ethnic group have lived for generations. It's easy to picture 3,000 years ago on this land, shrouded in clouds and mist, people settling, adapting, and multiplying. Nor is it hard to imagine that, like the Qiang people of today, they engaged in rituals and dances. Many of the bronze figures unearthed at Sanxingdui are wearing a mask that conceals the face. These masks are thought to have a connection to religious beliefs and divinity. However, one of the heads stands out from the rest.
其他的人戴了面具，总觉得有点这种阴森森的感觉，多少有些城市化，都大同小异的。唯独这一件就是1号坑的那件，所谓的最写实的，有人说是女性的形象嘛，这实际上还没戴面具，让人印象非常的深刻，更像是当时生活中的人更真实的一种表现。
The delicate features have led many people to speculate that this is the face of a woman. The jawline behind the ear is finely depicted, conveying a sense of natural and gentle beauty. The absence of any covering allows us a glimpse into an era in which the real faces behind the masks existed. The face is striking. The young man is Tutankhamun. The whites of his eyes are clear, and his pupils are bright. After the death of his father Akhenaten, the 9-year-old Tutankhamun ascended the throne of Egypt. However, his reign was brief. He died suddenly at the age of 19. His father had left him with a country suffering after the failure of religious reforms and struggling with the financial burden of building a new capital. Tutankhamun's tomb did not suffer the same level of looting and destruction as those of other pharaohs. Instead, his intact burial chamber and the vast quantity of treasures in it have made the young pharaoh one of the most famous figures in Egyptian history. People often discuss the mysterious curse of Tutankhamun's tomb. Yet they fail to reflect on the short but eventful life of the young man behind the mask.
Because this beautiful scene on the throne, showing her touching his shoulder with love, giving him with her left hand a vessel of perfume, wearing one sandal. He's wearing one and she's wearing one. You can see there is love story between him and Ankhesenamun. Maybe they used to ride a boat and they used to picnic. And also the bits found, chariots that can, even with his physical problem, he still can go and fight wild animals.
After thousands of years buried beneath the sand, the original splendor and vivid depiction of life have slowly succumbed to the erosion of time. During the excavation, the floral wreath adorning Tutankhamun's gold mask was found, still present. The archaeologist Howard Carter was deeply moved at the sight of the withered flowers. He referred to them in a letter in which he described 3,300 years as but a fleeting moment. The flowers, he said, made him sense more than ever the power of nature. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb shed light on a lost chapter of ancient Egyptian history. Similarly, the Sanxingdui site confirmed the existence of the ancient Shu civilization, mentioned in Chinese historical records and legend. To visit these sites is akin to being carried back to ancient times and civilizations and meeting the people who inhabited them.
我拍这些器物照的时候，通常是除了拍器物以外，一般我还在画面里面是想表达器物跟人物之间的一种关联，不仅仅是表达器物本身的一种美或者是震慑力。
It's in deciphering history and getting closer to the lives revealed in artifacts such as masks that the true appeal of archaeology lies. While we may not truly transcend time and meet the people of ancient times, we are continually seeking opportunities to imagine what their lives were like.
它的王权的特色不是那么明显，它仍然是以神权、以宗教信仰来维系国家的正常的运转，然后战争也比较少，因为我们在遗址里面几乎是没有发现过这个实用性的兵器的。就相对来说，这当时的环境或者社会是比较平和的， 给人感觉有点像乌托邦似的，有点桃花源似的这种。尤其是三星堆这一块，因为它是我们这个古蜀国那种类似于金字塔式的那种复杂社会的顶端，首都人嘛，首善之区，物质生活上、精神生活上都是比较丰富的。应了四川人的那句话，还是叫巴适。
我想凑近看一看。
来，我们围在这个旁边，围在这儿。先看我这边，然后我们刚才是不是说了，在这里边要烧一些东西啊？
In 2021, the Sanxing Village Archaeological Exploration Base introduced an educational program called A Day as an Archaeologist. In a simulated hut, they recreate the living and working spaces of their ancient ancestors. Children, by experiencing how the ancient Shu people farmed and worked, establish a visual connection with the people behind the masks.
我们在大部分发掘当中看到的都是那种残片状的这个陶器，也就是说这些器物它是使用到很破碎的时候，它才把它扔掉了。各种小平底罐啊，然后糕饼豆啊，这样一些瓶瓶罐罐啊，所以这个肯定是日常生活当中使用的。
To Chinese people today, the cooking vessel on a tripod reminds them of a classic hot pot. The people of ancient Shu would sit on the ground for meals, eating off a stemmed plate. Known as a dou, the design was ergonomic and suited the way they ate. The pottery bird head-shaped spoon served a similar function to a modern soup spoon.
通过植物考古，能够在历次发掘当中浮选出来大量的植物种子，就是碳化的植物种子，其中有很多水稻，然后还有这个小米，就是粟啊这样的一些主食类的这些植物种子，所以这也就表明当时人们他肯定是要吃这些东西的。更何况我们在遗址里边还发现有大量的保存状况比较差的这些动物骨头，所以当时人们也是要吃肉的，而且旁边就有河流啊，肯定也要捕鱼什么的，这些都是当时古蜀人的一个食谱。
还有一个比较有意思的现象，就是因为我们发现了很多跟酒有关的一些器具，比如说清酒瓶啊、陶盒啊等等，在这个居民区里面比较普遍的吧，也证明可能饮酒已经是当时的老百姓的不可或缺的一种生活方式。
One such artifact is the pottery he, a vessel designed for warming alcohol over a fire. But alcohol was not just something to enjoy. It also played a part in rituals and offerings to the gods. The Chinese people venerate jade as the spiritual essence of mountains and rivers. The ancient Shu people were no exception. At Sanxingdui, jade was crafted into a diverse range of objects, including ceremonial vessels and weapons, tools and ornaments, which featured prominently in religious and ritual practices.
我们现在看到的是我们的一件国宝级文物青铜大立人。这件青铜大立人呢，在2013年被国家文物局公布为第3批禁止出境展览的文物。这是他衣服的分层，他是穿了有3层衣服，而它的上面纹饰也很丰富。最下面呢，可以看到有很多的虫纹，有学者认为可能是蝉、知了，也有学者认为可能是啄木鸟，而中间是木纹、眼睛的纹饰。而最上面是成组的夔龙纹。在我们最新一轮的考古出土中，发现有丝绸，这就进一步证明了我们古蜀国它是掌握了非常成熟的丝绸制造业和服装制造业。
In many ways, it seems the ancient people of Shu who lived on the Chengdu Plain 3,000 years ago were much like the people of today. They worked diligently, sowing rice seeds in the spring, and weeding and harvesting in the autumn. On the west bank of the River Nile, the valley is covered with sand and stones, beneath which the ancient tombs of pharaohs lie. Yet right beside the river, life has gone on as normal for generations.
الوالد جهنيتي من سنة 50. أنا والله طلعت أجي تكشف عني ومرتبط بيه ارتباط زي دمك زي الدم في الشرايين.
If you look at the people in Egypt and their faces and their behavior, it's completely ancient Egyptian. I always say that we speak Arabic and or most of us are Muslims, and we are in Africa. We are not Africans and we are not Arabs. If you look at our behavior today, it's ancient Egypt. Go to any village and go to how they have dinner in the evening. They have dinner on the ground and they wash their face and they eat with their hands in the villages. Many words. If you see people talk words, it's hieroglyphic, many of them. Our habits, our life is completely related to ancient Egypt because we are the descendants of the great pharaohs.
The mural on the east wall of his tomb chamber shows Nakht, an official during the 18th dynasty, in an agricultural setting. Nakht is supervising the farm work. The land here is divided by undulating lines. When the Nile floodwaters recede, they leave behind large pools in low-lying areas. Though muddy, the land is highly fertile. On the left, a farmer is standing in the mud sowing seeds. On the right, workers are cutting down tamarisks and acacia trees along the edge of the planting area, while another person is also helping to extend the fields by cultivating the wild grassland. According to the Great Harris Papyrus, written during Ramses III's reign, the Amun-Re Temple, revered by the ancient Egyptians, owned 107,615 slaves, 490,386 head of livestock, 513 gardens, 1,070,400 settats of land, 88 ships, 53 artisan workshops, and 160 towns. On the far side of the world in China, at the ancient castle of the Qiang ethnic group in Maoxian County, a grand ceremony is taking place. Amid the sounds of horns and sheepskin drums, the venerable Shi Bi, dressed in ceremonial attire, approaches the altar. And the 20-meter-high gates of the ancient castle of the Qiang. The development of civilizations is a lengthy process, and there are many gaps in historical records. But under the sun and upon the earth, countless faces have emerged on the stage of human history. They are a constant reminder of the presence of a certain continuity. History teaches us that people will always communicate with, reflect on, and learn from one another. It's through a process of passing on and inheriting that humans ensure their survival.